Hello, and welcome to my Reaching Out to Cities broadcast number 4. This is Hello Ripon. I've been coming up to your district, Harrogate district, for the last 14 or 15 years to the Great Yorkshire Show, where I've been exhibiting my products in the food hall. My name is Derwin Banks. I'm a linseed farmer, and I've been taking my linseed products there and meeting all you lovely Yorkshire people. And it's been a great experience, but this might be my last visit this year. It's quite a job to do. It's coming up from Sussex. It's a big project to do, and it's on for a great many hours every day. But I have had help, and that's been absolutely wonderful. But anyway, I'm reaching out to you, Ripon, and all the people in and around Harrogate district, just to say we need to talk to each other. This is reaching out from the countryside to the city. There seems to be a great disconnection with food, and something my journey with linseed has taught me about is oils and fats. So what's really great when I come to Yorkshire, I can find fish and chip shops cooking in lard. And they've also got one at Beamish that cook in lard as well. And that's how you should do your cooking. So my message to all you people in Ripon and Harrogate district today is take some action to help improve your life and the life of your children and future generations. What we're hearing at the moment is we can't afford to fund the National Health Service, or they want huge amounts of money to fund the National Health Service. Now, the National Health Service is extremely good on acute problems. You know, if you break a leg or you've got a heart problem, they can really do things absolutely brilliantly. But when it comes to chronic problems, they really aren't actually very good at all. And most of the chronic problems have their roots in food. And what we've done in the last 60 or 70 years is we've interfered with the food chain so much, and we've all become disconnected from it, from food and farming, and we don't really know very much about food anymore. And in fact, the majority of food that's on sale in the supermarkets and other places could even be described as not food at all. It's just not what we need to live. And what I ask you to think about is the major thing we've done, and of course you've got lots of grass in Yorkshire, so the major thing we've done is we've stopped getting our fat from grass and started getting it from rainforests. And that is a terrible thing to have done. And what that means is you need to fatten your animals from grass. And then they produce all the good things in their body that you need, including some omega-3, when they eat, as they should do, with feeding themselves with grass. And you'll notice now on lots of products you buy, it will have palm oil in. And that has clearly come from a rainforest. And in order to plant palm oil trees, they have to rape the land, destroy the indigenous population, and things are burnt, trees are cut down, and the fires go on for a long time, and that is really bad for the atmosphere. So you can see that one thing, that one change from grass to rainforest has been so destructive to our world, and even more destructive to your health, your mental health and physical health. Why is it destructive to your mental health? It's because your brain is 60% fat. It's a big lump of fat. You need to be able to feed your brain in the proper way. And what we've done in the last 50 or 60 years is we put margarine into it. We've been allowed to cook in oil. And all of these modern spreads, they're all industrially produced fats, which are actually not very good for you. And you can see it's in just a short time we have created so much illness. So there's two things that you can do to help improve your life. Never cook in oil, any kind of oil. And I'm afraid I have to say, don't believe what my fellow rapeseed farmers say when they tell you that you roast your potatoes in rape oil. It's not true. Even if they tell you it's a high smoke point, it doesn't matter. You've destroyed the structure of the oil, and therefore it doesn't do the job that it's meant to do in the body. So not only is it vital for your mental health, and the reason it is because it makes every cell membrane and cells talk to each other. And clearly, if you haven't got well-made cell membranes, they won't talk to each other. So hence, that's the function of your brain. So mental health is deteriorating. And there's 25% of people with mental health, defined mental health problems, and probably a lot of us at various times are suffering as well. And that impedes the way we think about things or the decisions we make in our lives. And the other thing that oil does in the body, it helps to oxygenate the body. And oxygen is vital. And this was discovered, one of the main people that discovered that was a scientist called Otto Warburg in the 1920s. And he found out if you deprive your cells of just 35% of the oxygen they need for their work, then you're likely to get cancer. So they know what gives you these problems. Cancer is anaerobic. It doesn't like oxygen. So in these 60 years since we've been changing the fats, we've moved from 1 in 20 people getting it to 1 in 2. I mean, I can't prove that, but the evidence is there. It certainly seems like that's a real dramatic change in such a short period of our whole existence that we've created that much illness. So those are a couple of things you can do. Don't cook with oil in your kitchen, and go and find those fish and chip shops if you want those that still cook in lard. And if you go into others and they don't, just leave and say you're doing the wrong thing. And even packets of crisps they've now found that have cancerous substances in there. So you can bet your life there's something dramatic we're doing, as I said before, in the food chain to give us this much cancer. Hospitals are full of it. We need to change. And changing the oils and fats and cutting down on sugar, of course, is a good way to do it. I know this sounds a bit of a rant, but my journey with Linseed has enabled me to see clearly some of these things, and I'm passing this information on to you. City and town people as well come to that. So I'm reaching out from the countryside, trying to help and support you in having a healthier life. And you can buy food that farmers produce, hopefully locally produced food, and you can eat pasture-fed beef, and hopefully you can buy milk from pasture-fed cows as well. So all of these things are things to look out for and to try and change in your life if you can. And of course, the sooner we become healthier, the less money we will have to spend in the health service, and that can only be a good thing. So there we go. I'll stop now, but I'll be coming up to the Yorkshire show again in July. And if anybody's watching and they'd like to come along and see me, it'll be great to see you. And we could have a chat. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye-bye.